All right, so here we're looking at domain and range and graphs, and then in another video I'll do domain and range in context of a word problem. So for this first one here, all the fill in the blank is done for us, so we just need to reproduce the graph. So 2/3 is slope, -5 is the y-intercept. So I'm going to put my first dot right here at y equals -5. That's the y-intercept. And then 2/3 means to rise 2, run 3, put a dot. Okay, rise 2, run 3, put a dot right there. And then you're going to connect your dots with the straight line. But be careful. The domain is 0 to 9. So my x values only go from 0 up to 9. So 9 is going to be right about there. And nicely enough, that also matches up with the range going from -5 to 1. So remember, domain goes from left to right. And if you look at the number on the left, the furthest left that it goes right here is 0. The furthest to the right that it goes is 9. That's domain. Left to right. Domain is the x's. Domain is horizontal. Then we talk about range. Range is the opposite. Range is vertical. We go from -5 up to +1, low to high, bottom to top. It's alphabetical order, people. X comes before Y, domain comes before range, horizontal comes before vertical. Looking at the second graph now, we have to fill in the blanks ourselves, but we know how to do this. Mx plus b, -2 is the m, 6 is the b. It tells us the domain is x is greater than or equal to 0. Let's draw the graph and then circle back to find the range. So start with my y-intercept of 6, like this. Then I go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. I can do this as long as I want. The domain says x is greater than or equal to 0. So I can go to the right forever. There's no endpoint on the right. I'm going to draw. This is technically called a ray because it goes forever in one direction. The range is bottom to top, but in this situation, there is no bottom. The line continues down forever. So if there's no bottom, we can only describe the top. And the top of the graph is 6. So I'm going to say y is less than or equal to 6. That's the range because it starts at 6 and goes down. So all the y values are less than or equal to 6. All right, third one, they gave us the slope and the y-intercept. So we write y equals -4x plus 0. You can leave off the plus 0. They tell us the range goes from -4 less than equal to y, less than equal to 8. Let's try to graph it and see what we can figure out about the domain. So here is the y-intercept of 0, and then it goes down 4, right 1 because of the slope, down 4, right 1. I don't really want to go that far, actually. I'm looking at the range, and it says the bottom of the graph is -4. So I shouldn't have even included this last point. I'm going to get rid of you. No. This is my smallest point right here at y equals -4 according to the range. The range tells me to go up until I hit 8. So I'm going to keep following that slope of -4 until I hit 8 right there. So this has two different endpoints. This is a segment. And now I can see the domain. The domain goes from left to right, just like I talked about earlier. The domain goes from here to there. -2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 1. You can double check that with the equation because it says y equals -4 times x. And if you go -4 times -2, you get 8. That's the endpoint of the range. If you do -4 times +1, you get -4. That's the other endpoint of the range. So there you have it, domain and range, looking at graphs. In my next video, I'll do domain and range in the context of word problems. Please ask questions if you need anything. I know this is a tricky concept for a lot of students at first, but you can get it down, domain and range, just like alphabetical order, X and Y, horizontal and vertical.